Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube as we take a look at UFC 264 from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, coming up this Saturday, July 10th. Kevin Rogers with you, along with our UFC and MMA expert, Adam Lykkesteen. He has all the breakdown for these fights, including the big one between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. Before we get to Adam, want to remind you about where you can watch these bouts, and you can do so on ESPN Plus and also on ESPN pay-per-view. You can find all the action there, and the early prelims begin at 6 o'clock. But first, we want to jump into the big lightweight fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. And with that, we bring in Adam Lykkesteen. And Adam, this is the third time that these two fighters are meeting up. McGregor won the first time. Poirier pulled the upset the second time. Poirier now a short favorite going into the third matchup. What are your thoughts going into Saturday's bout?
My thoughts on the fight is that it is a great matchup. First of all, I mean, I always tune in when McGregor fights, so it's bound to be a good one, especially when each fighter has a win over the other. Other than that, I will say that this all depends on the improvements made by McGregor, since it really looked like Poirier had his number in the second fight. So this is totally McGregor's fight to lose. There's a lot at stake for him here. If he loses this one, he's lost 2 in a row. That might be the end for him. But it's a very good fight. I will say that I favor Poirier quite heavily in this matchup, but it'll be interesting to see what McGregor has in store for us.
Last time they faced off, Adam, was UFC 257, and Poirier defeated McGregor by a TKO. How surprised are you now that the money has flipped and McGregor was a heavy favorite the last time, and now Poirier is the favorite?
I'm actually very surprised. I would think, of course, there's still a few days to the fight, but I would actually have thought that by now a lot more casual money would be coming on McGregor, and we'd get Poirier as the underdog again, which would be a good value play. But it looks like some people are getting off the McGregor hype train and going with Poirier instead, and that's pretty surprising to me based on the fact that throughout McGregor's career, he's always had that casual money coming in on his side, and he's been the favorite in most of his outings.
What about your thoughts with the rounds and how long it'll go? Right now, it's at 1.5, and it's shaded heavily to the over. What are your feelings on that?
I think it goes about the same as the first fight. I think it ended just a few minutes shy of the end of the second round. I don't see this fight going over 2.5. I think it's going under. It just looked like Poirier, and that's been what we've been seeing with McGregor, right? He has a bit of a cardio problem. At least that's what some people say. And it just looked like that when Poirier turned on the pressure, McGregor was done pretty quickly. At the same time, McGregor caught him with some good shots, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to get a knockout early either. So I'm looking towards the under 2.5 here.
Now, the other fights on the main card here, Adam, in the welterweight fight, it's Stephen Thompson and Gilbert Burns. Thompson favored in that matchup. Your thoughts on that?
This is totally Stephen Thompson or nothing. I mean, I think this is a really good matchup for Stephen Thompson. He has a karate fighter, very, very sharp striking specialist. And we just saw Gilbert Burns getting melted by Kamaru Usman, who's a grappler on the feet. So as long as Thompson can keep this on the feet, which he has shown throughout his career, he's good at staying on his feet, even against the good wrestlers. He has an 80% takedown defense. I think that he will have a walk in the park with Burns on the feet here. Good reach advantage over Burns, 4 inches, I do believe, and just a better overall striking game. So.
All right, so you do like Thompson there. Also, the heavyweight fight, it's Tuivasa against Greg Hardy, and I think you side here with the underdog.
I do actually. I do like Greg Hardy. I do not know why people are writing him off based on his last win, but that just means that we have a more valuable play on our hands, so that's just a plus for us. Tuivasa, I mean, I don't get the hype. I don't think he's as good as people make him out to be. And of course, Greg Hardy has a nice big size advantage to go with everything. And that's quite important in the heavyweight division, because after that first round, I think Greg Hardy will be able to move more around. He's shown that he has pretty good footwork, and just pick his shots and just pick apart the shorter guy with his jab. So I like Greg Hardy in that one.
And you can catch the UFC 264 coming up this Saturday on ESPN Plus and ESPN pay-per-view. Also, if you go to VegasInsider.com and you click on the ad in the story, you can find out what kind of deals you can get with the UFC 264 and the Disney bundle, along with UFC 264 and ESPN Plus. You can find all that out. You click on the ad on any of Adam's stories on VegasInsider.com. Now, Adam, let's take a look at some of the some of the fights on that card, and let's begin with the welterweight bout, Max Griffin and Carlos Condit. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, fighting wise, it's a fun matchup, but betting wise, I think this is pretty good value on the veteran Carlos Condit. I think that it's not right to put out value wise to put out Max Griffin as the favorite, because he is 5-8 in his UFC career, which means that he actually has a winning percentage of a little under 40%. So if you look at it that way, it shouldn't really make sense mathematically that he's a betting favorite. Whereas Condit is a bit more consistent and gets the win a bit more often. So I think this is definitely, if it stays on the feet, Condit is as sharp as they come. He's a veteran, got a lot of experience. And I think it's actually a pretty good matchup for Condit. And betting wise, I think the value is also on Carlos Condit.
On the rest of the preliminary card, Adam, what else kind of sticks out to you?
Other things, I think there's a fight between two prospects in the featherweight division, Ilia Topuria, not sure if I'm butchering that name, and then Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall has, of course, had a pretty lengthy layoff, but I think they've put him out as a bit of a too big of an underdog here, because I think that he's the more proven fighter with 4 UFC bouts to Elias. He's only had 2. So I think the reason that he's the favorite is because of narratives. People are saying, oh, he's very, very good. He's a future champion, but he's not proven that yet. He's only had 2 fights. So logically, I think you have to maybe place a little sprinkle on Ryan Hall there, because he has proven that he's good, whereas his opponent hasn't really had the opportunity yet. And Ryan Hall is a submission specialist, so he can submit any man.
Now, speaking of which, Adam, out of all the fights coming up on Saturday, which one do you think is a submission?
That's definitely the Ryan Hall fight. I mean, we're looking at a specialist unlike any other. I mean, he caught the legend BJ Penn with an Imanari roll, which is just pretty rare, and at such a big stage. I mean, the UFC, it's pretty rare that you get such a specialist who pulls off these crazy submissions. So if you give him your neck for just 1 second, he's gonna wrap some of his limbs around your neck and tap you out. So I think that's definitely the one to look for a submission prop.
What about any that goes the distance?
Any other fight or that fight?
And any other fight.
Oh, any other fight. I would actually say the Carlos Condit fight versus Max Griffin. Both guys are extremely, extremely hard-headed, very, very good chins. Condit has never been finished, I do believe, in his lifelong MMA career. And Griffin just takes big amounts of damage and never buckles. So that one, I think, has a high probability of going the distance.
UFC 264 airs this Saturday on ESPN Plus and ESPN pay-per-view. The early prelims begin at 6 p.m. And then it all wraps up with Poirier and McGregor 3 coming up Saturday night in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. You can check it all out. ESPN Plus, the UFC 264, and the Disney bundle. Get more information on that. The Disney bundle, $13.99 a month, then pay-per-view for $69.99 through ESPN Plus. You can check all that information out at VegasInsider.com. Adam Lykkesteen, he is our UFC and MMA specialist. Adam, we appreciate it. Enjoy watching the fight Saturday.
Thanks for having me.
And that is Adam Lykkesteen. I am Kevin Rogers. Again, you can check out all of Adam's work at VegasInsider.com to get you ready for UFC 264 coming up this Saturday. We appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you again soon right here on VegasInsider.com.